up in these ivory towers or these fancy buildings. A lot of people that are hiding behind, I better not say it, they'll ban me off of something. But people that claim to be experts in this, that have been able to be proven that they're wrong through science. Their own colleagues have been ousted because they chose to stand up. Nurses have been ousted because they chose to stand up and say something is wrong here. The very same people that were considered heroes at the beginning of the pandemic are losing their jobs because they don't believe in the vaccine. And even if they do, but choose not to put it into their body yet, they're losing their jobs because they chose to exercise their constitutional rights. Every single person here, I want you to know, I'm not personally anti-vax. I'm not anti-vax. I'm anti-mandate. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a scientist. I'm not a professor. I'm not a lawyer. I can't tell you what's right and wrong when it comes to these vaccines and the medical stuff. I trust the experts to tell me what is right. And when you got half and half in the medical industry saying this is wrong, I believe it deserves some more research. And I definitely believe that it's wrong to mandate me to put it into my arm. I believe it's wrong to mandate college students in order to go get their higher education to get the jab. I think that's wrong. I think it's wrong because I'm not only as an American, but as a human being walking the earth. A human being walking the earth. As a human. Not just as an American, but as a human. You have God-given rights. You have, for those of you that may be saying God-given rights is a bit too much, that's fine. You have human rights.
We work for him.
It doesn't matter. It's not a right issue. It's not a left issue. It's a human issue. It's an American issue. To try to continuously paint us as some far-right movement or anti-vaxxers as a whole is wrong. You all know that's not the case. And anybody out there doubting what we're doing or not believing in what we're saying or not or thinking that we're wasting our time, you need to come down here. You need to spend 2 or 3 days down here. And then when you're done doing that, when you're done meeting these folks that are here, when you're done hearing the stories of the people that are losing everything, then you tell me what this movement is really about. Until then, shut up. You don't have a right to talk about these people until you came down here and meet these people. Just my personal opinion.
Everybody.
What? Yes. There's chili back there. Thank you. Thanks. I'm going to wait until I'm done here before I go. Oh, for everybody. They want you all to know there's chili back here. Just giving you crap.
Hey, man, you want to stop?
For those of you, I'm sure you're already aware, I'm just going to go right on into this subject right away. We're going to get started here. Today was a win! Let's break down this win, shall we? Because I already seen the articles coming out about how we messed up traffic.
Bullshit!
You want to know who messed up traffic? The officers that blocked all the exits. They messed up the traffic. Not us. You want to know who caused accidents today? Not the truck drivers, not the People's Convoy, the law enforcement that chose to block exits that caused people to turn around on the interstate caused those accidents. They messed up, not us. That's a win. Before you go and blaming the People's Convoy for the mess on the Beltway today, before you go and blame us for missing your exit, You can thank the DC Metro Police for locking up the exits. We did not do that. What that was, what that really truly was, fear. We won the day. We have so many wins at this point, I can't even keep track of them all anymore. We are united. There is nothing more scary than united citizens of the United States. We won today. No plans of going into DC proper, and yet they shut down every single exit. We didn't mess up traffic, they did. So all of you watching from home on these live streams and YouTubers and Facebook Lives and whatever else is out there, if there happens to be any mainstream here or watching or monitoring.
Nowhere.
Hi Zach, I know you're watching. Wasn't us. Wasn't us. Better go ask Metro PD for a comment on their decision to lock up exits for no reason. We have always stayed true to our message. We have always worked with them and told them what we were going to do. We have continued that positive relationship, and let me tell you something else. We're going to keep continuing that positive relationship because we have done nothing wrong. We are law-abiding. We are peaceful. And we will continue to do what we are doing. We will continue to remind the American government and the people around the world that our government officials work for us! This does not end. You did not bully us from continuing to do this. In fact, you just ignited the entire nation! You messed up. You got us out there on the mainstream today. Thank you. You know,
We're not a secret anymore.
definitely not hiding us, that's for sure. Let me tell you, man, it's unbelievable that they risked the lives of the motoring public today. They risked the motoring public's lives by what they did. And the thing is, if somebody would have got seriously hurt today, who do you think they would have blamed for it? Us. But we know the truth. It was their fault today. Their fault. For something we weren't even going to do, we just changed up the route. Apparently they got a little scared. Personally, it makes me extremely happy to see them do that because it just shows that we are sending a message. Shows that they know we're here and that we ain't going nowhere. So to all of you back home right now that are worried about joining us, wondering if we're still here, wondering what we're doing, turn the keys to the right and come on down. Come on down. To the haters out there, keep on hating. You're making us famous. We have made history. We literally have made history. From Adelanto, California, all the way to here, that was history. 7,000 vehicles, 30 miles long across Oklahoma. You think they'll talk about that ever in the history books? Probably not. But we definitely need to make sure that we tell our future generations what we've done here. We have to tell them what we've done here. This fight, I don't know if there's ever an end date to this. I don't believe there is. I don't believe there's ever going to be an end date because this is something that you have to continue to fight for and stand up for the rest of your life. Remember, I said it starts at home. It starts in your communities. It starts on your school boards. It starts in your city councils. It starts in your mayor's office. It starts with your state legislation. It starts with the governor. It starts with all of you right here, right now. It takes organizing these states to go to state capitals. The fight isn't just here, but it's back home for all of us too. Your family members that support you being here, tell them to gear up their state. Because the time is coming very near when it's becoming more and more evident by the lack of communication from those sitting up on their ivory towers of Capitol Hill. The time is showing very near that it's time to bring this fight to every state capital across the nation. It is time. Now is the time. Organize your state now. Go to your state capitals now. Get these convoys going. You don't need truckers. You don't need truckers to organize it. The people need to speak up. Truckers may spearhead it, but the people's convoy is made up of the people. To the truckers out there, you probably feel the same way I do. Sometimes to get something done, you just got to do it yourself. If that's the case, then you truckers across America, fire up your state and head to the capital. Your state capitals. Those of you that want to come down here, gate's still open. Come on down. To the people across the world, truck drivers across the world, the people across the world, your capitals are waiting for you too. Just remember, unity, law-abiding, and peaceful. Our diplomatic method is working. It is working. We got 3 days of meetings already lined up. We're going to more meetings. Now some will say, oh, these meetings are a waste of time. It's a dog and pony show. Blah, 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 blah. While I tend to agree with you in most cases. In this situation, a lot of them are coming to us. A lot of them want to meet with us. A lot of them want to talk to us. I've never seen that before in my life. Now I'm kind of a young buck compared to many of you that I see out here right now. Age hasn't done you all too well. Just kidding, just kidding. I'm not.
Hey, you got a lot of wisdom out here, man.
I know we do. I know we do. We got a lot of wisdom in these ranks. There ain't no doubt about it. I got a lot to lay you. I'm wearing the belt if you need to use it. The point in everything I'm saying is we're winning. We continue to win. We continue to fight, but we also need to bring it to the states because we need those back home to support us that way. We need them to put the pressure on the state capitals because by putting pressure at the state level, the state then puts pressure at the federal level. And right now, right here where we are, we're putting pressure on the federal government, but there ain't nobody putting pressure on the states. We got to get the states geared up. It's important. It's necessary. We have to do it. We have to do it. Today was a big win. And I'm going to tell you right now, we're doing that exact same route tomorrow. So my friends in law enforcement that may be watching, curious to the plan, we're doing it again tomorrow. There, you know now. We're doing it again tomorrow. The exact same route, we're doing it again tomorrow. I'm telling you that right now, right here. We're doing the same route, and that's the route that we're doing every day going forward. We will not deviate, and we will not change that route at this point in time. That is what we're doing. Because that one apparently put the boot up your butt to tell you, we're here to stay. So I want to say a personal thank you. Personal thank you to all the law enforcement that closed down the ramps today. Thank you for that win. Thank you for the help. Thank you for the motivation in continuing this fight. Thank you for that morale booster. It worked. But I also want to say one thing that I think is very important. Just like you and I have a job to do, they have a job to do as well. And do not hold the decisions of people that sit in an office all day against those men and women behind the badge, because they are doing what they're told to do. They're doing their job, and law enforcement needs to be respected. They need to be respected. They did nothing wrong. The officers did nothing wrong. They did their job. They didn't do anything wrong today. They did nothing wrong. We love you, law enforcement. We love you, DC Metro. It's your bosses that suck. But you know what? I can't even say that. Because of them, they just gave us a win. I'm going to let the one and only famous Dr. Lock Them All Up. Ladder's on the other side of the stage, buddy. I'm going to let him come up and finish this up. Let's, Mike, you got some things you want to say? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Well then we'll have the doc come up, and we'll let Mike Landis finish it out. For me tonight, thank you all for an amazing job well done. Thank you for the peace, love, and unity. Thank you for being law-abiding citizens of the United States, and thank you for having the heart to stay in this fight.
Come on, up!
How are you?
Lock him up! Lock them up! Lock them up! Lock them up!
Lock
Lock
them
them
up!
up! Lock them up! Lock them up! Arrest them, guys!
Lock them all up! All of them! Listen.
Thank you, Dr.
I wanna echo something Brian said, you know. I've worked with a lot of these police in the States and in Canada and the military. And I have to say that the police in both countries, particularly our military, are probably some of the most special people in the world. And the media tries to put a schism between us and the police, and that's wrong. I want to say, let's give it up to the police! Let's give it up to our military too. Yeah! All of our veterans, let's give it up. Yeah! Look, I have a good friend. I can't get too detailed, but I make it a little personal for you. He flies drones, Air Force drones for the US military. I can't say more. He's in a secret base in Africa. And today he reached out to me and he said, you know, Paul, boy, I've been very sick for 3 weeks. You know, they were sending me on a contract, and I took the vaccine because they told me I had to. And I've been dead sick for 3 weeks and I don't know what to do. And he described the symptoms, you know, elevated D-dimer test, which evidences increased blood clotting. We know that's one of the side effects. Elevated creatine phosphokinase, again, an indication that there's a serious problem with blood clotting. And that is one of the side effects of this vaccine. And that is why Peter McCullough and Robert Malone and myself, Howard Tenenbaum, Mark Trozzi, all of these people, Gert van den Bosch, that is what we've been telling them. We told these people, we said the vaccines were not properly tested. We did not look at the safety properly. You cannot take a vaccine that needs 15 years of surveillance, safety, and you boil it down to 4 months and tell me that the vaccine is safe. So right now, we have millions, hundreds of millions of people across the world, including young people with these vaccines in them, and we don't know what's going to happen in the future, especially to our police and military. I told the Canadian government, I even told the US government, do not vaccinate the police. Do not vaccinate or mandate to the military. Why? Because we don't know what is going to happen in the future. And that's a serious problem. And my friend, when he told me what he said, the first thing I did was I said, look, you need to speak to a cardiologist. So I put him on to the best cardiologist I know, and they're going to take it from there. Why am I here? Somebody like me. I'm an academic scientist. I worked for the World Health Organization before. You know I worked for President Trump in his administration. And I worked for the Infectious Diseases Society of America in Virginia. So I am well versed in infectious diseases and anything to do with guideline development or in clinical medicine. And I can tell you this, that we told them in the beginning, 1 month out, 1 month. So I'm talking about April 2020. We said that the data was showing us that this thing you were talking about, asymptomatic transmission, that I have to lock the society down, was a fraud. We had studies out of China, we had studies out of the United States, Cow et al., Madewell et al., showing us with base populations of 10 million. They followed every contact of positive patients. There was no evidence of asymptomatic transmission. It was a lie. And that is why we need to lock them up. When they told you about recurrent infections, that you could get COVID twice and you could be reinfected, that too was a lie, because we looked at the science up to today, after 2 years, with billions of people infected, we cannot find one bona fide case of actual reinfection with COVID. That too was a lie. That was to scare you. So we locked them up. When they brought that fraud PCR test to you, we showed them the data. I told CDC, you overcycling the test. Once you cycle over 24, you're going to pick up viral dust and fragments. It will not be positive cases. Anything over 24. But our CDC cycle at 40 and 45. 97% of all infections in 2020 and 2021 were false positive. We locked the society down, took children out of school, closed universities with false positive tests. We need to lock them up. When they said that vaccinal immunity was better than natural immunity, that was a bunch of bull. We had a study of persons who were infected in 1918 Spanish flu. They were children, and in 2010 we looked at the data and we saw that those people 100 years after were still showing a cellular immune response. They had natural immunity for 100 years. So we need to lock them up. When they told us that Johnny, at 10 years old, at the height of his life, perfect health, he was at the same risk of infection as the 85-year-old granny with 4 medical conditions. They knew that was impossible, but they had to lie to you. They had to lie to you so you could lock down and put on the mask, that diaper on your face. They knew it was a lie. We were never at equal risk of infection. So we need to lock them up. When they told you in the beginning that we had no early treatment, that was a lie. We had effective antivirals and corticosteroids and antiplatelet medications that we saw the data will cut the risk of infection and death by 90%. 90% of the 950,000 Americans dead today, 90%, 910,000 would be alive today. They killed our parents, those doctors, they killed our grandparents. And for that reason we locked them all up. So, before I go, the two flags that I have allegiance to, Canadian and American. Long live Canada! And long live the United States! I'm going to hand you over to Marcus.
God bless you, Doc. God bless you, Doc.